Hello and welcome everyone to Premier Destiny's Q&A live session. It's Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and as usual, it's Paul and Joan from Premier Destiny. We're coming to you live to take questions, to answer questions from our vast listening audience and viewers and, all in our community. And today we are so excited because we have a fun topic. It is fun in one way, but also has some very deep consequences if we are not really careful. So we are excited that you're able to join us today as we take on this question from Alicia. But before I get into her question, for some of you who may not know, Paul and I are from Premier Destiny. We are transformation experts. We guide ambitious professionals and business owners or aspiring business owners to go from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Okay, because we believe life is abundant and everyone deserves to be successful, right? And be prosperous and have fun while doing that. Okay, so we are going to be answering this question. Alicia is from Las Vegas in Nevada. Beautiful Las Vegas, right? It has all the shiny objects. So I can see why someone could really feel the way she's feeling right now. And her question is, how do I deal with the fear of missing out, especially when seeing others achieve success rapidly? Okay, so it's not just seeing others achieve success, but it's the speed at which they achieve the success. So that's a concern for Alicia, and she would like us to help her in dealing with that. Okay, so that is what people usually refer to as FOMO, the fear of missing out. So you may have seen FOMO, FOMO, that's fear of missing out. And if you're hearing it for the first time, let me give you a little bit of maybe a description of what it is or meaning of the fear of missing out. It's a pervasive feeling, okay, and it's usually characterized by the fear that others are experiencing something, enjoying something that you are not. Okay, so you're missing out, right? It could be whatever they're engaged in. I'm going to give you some practical examples later on so you get a better understanding of what FOMO is. But basically, that is what it is. It usually arises as a response to a perceived, and I'm emphasizing the word perceived because they say all that glitters is not gold. Sometimes that may be the case. It could be it could be real too. Don't get me wrong, it could be real, but it's what the perception that you have that um others are accomplishing something. Okay, something is going on, especially when viewed in the lens of social media. That is, and digital communication, not just social media. We're not trying to bash social media. After all, we're on social media right now. But so because you have everything or almost everything happening there, right? And the sad thing about FOMO is it can lead to stress, it can lead to anxiety, depression, okay, dissatisfaction with our own progress. You may be in your own corner doing so well, but you scroll down that chat or that WhatsApp or social media and you're like, oops. And immediately you feel like, okay, this is not good enough, or my speed of success is not good enough, right? And you start feeling that fear, okay, of missing out. Doubt.
You almost have feeling, why not? Why is it happening? Why is it not happening to me?
Exactly. Why not me? And you start feeling dissatisfied with your own progress. Whereas you could be making significant progress in your own endeavors, right? You start doubting your choices. You start doubting yourself. What is going on with me? You know, um, but one other thing about FOMO is that it can trigger compulsive behaviors. That is dangerous. That is dangerous. And I have to be honest with you guys, we have experienced FOMO as well. We have experienced FOMO as well. And some of the, tips or strategies we're going to share with you today have helped us because, you are in business, you see, your competitors, acquiring more market share or whatever, and you feel like, okay, what's going on here? Or how about the big old sales? Sales are coming up. Holiday season is coming up. 50% off, 75% off, and you feel like you must have it. You must have it. Otherwise you're going to miss the opportunity and wonder why our closets, our garages, self-storage units are full to overflowing. It could be as a result of FOMO.
Yeah.
We are just amassing
Yeah.
things even when we don't need them. Sometimes we do, but if we really take some time to sit down and analyze some of these things, we realize that we may have been the culprits of FOMO. Okay.
I was just going to add also that it's important also to realize that FOMO, what we see folks shows on social media, is a highlight reels, right?
Mm,
It's not the full story,
mm,
folks. It's
mhm,
just a highlight, right?
mhm.
They choose to share what they want to share, and it's usually the good part. How about the other part? How about the whole story? We don't see that, so it's important to put it in context as we engage social media and we see things,
Yeah.
because that's gonna color how we go about appreciating
Mhm.
things out there. Just
Absolutely. Talking of social media, that's one practical example, right? You're scrolling down and you see your friends on this exotic vacation, and you're like, oops, I'm missing out. But like Paul said, you don't know how many months they were saving for it, for how long they were saving for it, or maybe it's a gift. Maybe their company send them on vacation, or whatever. Okay.
workation, right?
Workation.
Workation, yeah. Work. It could be workation too,
Yeah.
right?
Another practical example is at work.
Mm,
You may see your friend get a promotion and you feel like, why not me?
mm,
Am I being left behind in my career? And then maybe you want to think, oh, they got the promotion because they completed this program, and then all of a sudden you see yourself online looking for the same program, registering for that program so that you can get the qualification and hopefully get promoted as well, right? So that's the compulsive side of it. Okay. It could be in business, like I mentioned earlier, someone who just started a startup company
mhm.
having rapid success, and you've been in business for a while and you're not experiencing the same level of success,
Yes,
that can ignite FOMO.
yes,
Okay. And what other common one? Lifestyle.
yeah.
Okay. Health and fitness. You know, I have to say this, I have to admit, coming back from vacation in Europe, I saw my sister and she looked so trim, so healthy, so fit, energetic, just vibrant. And I was like, I need to do something too. But I looked at it not from an envious standpoint, right?
Competitive standpoint.
Competitive standpoint, but the positive side of it, right? And I of course I asked her what she's doing, and I'm putting them into practice as well. I'm seeing positive results. So if you look at it from that angle, it is
What
not all bad.
what you can learn from it, right?
Yes, what you can learn from it. Okay. So Alicia's question is seeing others experiencing rapid success. Okay, like I said, it could even have mental consequences, emotional.
Mhm.
It can affect us emotionally, okay? Because that constant comparison, it's like you're not good enough, you're not achieving, it promotes a mindset of scarcity.
It does.
Okay. It promotes a mindset of scarcity, and success is not limited. It's not a limited resource. It's not like if you are successful, someone else cannot be successful. Okay. It's That's not the case. Other people's success should
Inspire.
motivate you,
Inspire.
inspire you to be successful as well. Okay, but not to the point where fear sets in. That's You're crossing that line. You're going to the negative side of it. Okay, so FOMO can also derail us from our own goals. Okay, I know Paul is going to be talking more about some strategies on how to deal with FOMO, and I'm not going to dwell on that too much. But so please, let's be very mindful. It's something that many people don't even realize they are going through it. I know Paul and I have had to sit down and like, oops, okay, we're going to do this. Is it out of FOMO? Is it in alignment with our goals? Does that piece Consider, look at it as a piece of a puzzle. Does it fit in the puzzle to give us that big picture that we want to see in the scheme of our goals, our strategies, what we would love? Does that action, okay, fit? And if it doesn't, we don't need to engage it at the time, right? So I'm going to pass on to Paul to give us some tips or strategies on how to deal with FOMO.
Thank
Over
you.
to you,
Thank
FOMO.
you, John. Thank you. Folks, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. We're really delighted to have you all join us here today. And it's a great topic.
Yeah.
Like John says, a topic that we've wrestled with
Hmm.
over the years and the one that we still wrestle with. I can say that. Folks, the fear of missing out, FOMO, the fear of missing out is a pervasive, like John talked about, condition. All right.
Yeah.
Because it has such really it puts us in a very bad situation, I believe, because it makes you not appreciate what you have,
Yeah.
which is key. You're
Hmm.
restless. You kind of you're restless. You cannot enjoy the moment, if you will,
Hmm.
which is terrible. Because we all work hard. We try to do the best we can so we can enjoy the moment. But if we cannot because we're competing or we're seeing that this person has this or this person achieved this and we are not there, then it takes that joy away, right?
Absolutely.
It takes the joy away, it takes the energy away,
Yeah.
and then we don't feel like, what's the point? So that's a thing we have to really work on. As I often say sometimes is and John talked about it, you know, you see a lot of us, our garages are like storage places. I mean,
Storage units.
storage units. I mean, the cars are outside, stuff is inside the garage. I mean, stuff we may never use. How about that? How
Mm.
about that? Right. So we're going to talk about some ways to kind of address Alicia's question here. The first one I'll suggest is that reframe. We have to reframe our perspective. Okay,
Mm.
instead of feeling envy when others are achieving, rapid success, reframe it as an opportunity to learn. Okay, and be inspired by it.
Hmm.
Their success, whomever we're looking at, their success should be like lessons to us, roadmaps, if you will.
Hmm.
Okay, what can I learn from this? Okay, how can I apply what they've done in my life, recognizing that they can do it, so can you, right? I mean, like years ago when we started our home care company years ago, uh, there were these top producers who had been in for a while,
Yeah.
and then this one guy he was grossing now, not netting, he was grossing about $100,000 a month. Remember?
Hmm.
And boy, I was excited. I said, "Man, wow, I wanted to get close to this guy. I wanted to find out what his magic was,
Mm.
right? I mean, it just showed me there were possibilities that could happen because I did not know. We did not know,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
it made us realize that hey, this is possible. Okay, so that's what we learned from it. So we just let us reframe from that one. We instead learn how can we learn from this gentleman who's doing so well, so that we can then better ourselves, and we learn from it. We did learn from it. Um, the other thing also, which I think is extremely important, is that you should spend some quiet time over a period of time.
Hmm.
Okay, I try to do it every day. First thing in the morning, I like to spend some quiet time and just reflect. Okay, do a personal inventory of yourself.
Mm.
All right, who are you? What are you all about? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What would you want in your life?
What would you love?
What would you love?
Mm.
Okay, what would you love? What would you want? What do you really want to achieve in life? What some things that hug at you? Because every one of us has them, right? Every
Yeah.
one of us have them. So I would sit down, take an inventory of that, see what I want, and then start setting some game plan to get towards whatever it is that you're after.
Mm.
Now, sometimes that may involve talking to a coach, which or a mentor or something like that, and that's fine. Because sometimes it's hard for you to really be able to do, see these things yourself. You may need guidance.
Mhm.
You may need someone to kind of hold your hand. Someone who's been there before, who can say, "No, this is what we can help you do. This is how you go about it." Right? But it's important for you to sit down and just spend some quiet time, just assessing yourself. Who am I? What do I want? What do I love?
Yeah.
What gives meaning to me? Because what gives meaning to you is going to be different from what gives meaning to me,
Absolutely.
right? And when
Mhm.
you do all of that, then it helps you to reshape how you approach society, how you see things. Okay, and then so that's an important one there. The other thing also, set personal milestones. I talked about setting goals. You may want to break those milestones into smaller, achievable pieces,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, that way, for example, if you want to be debt free, all right, I mean, I would sit down and put my credit cards down, whatever they are, see how much they all come up to, right? And then start with the smallest one, start hitting them. This month I pay X amount towards this one, the next month I
Mm-hmm.
pay X amount towards this one. When that one finishes, I apply the money to the next one. What is it for you? What is it for you? Set those goals and break them down to achievable goals. And it's amazing sometimes, folks who may think that it looks all big, but when you break it down to sizable chunks,
Mm.
it becomes more realistic,
Yeah.
and consequently more achievable for you. All right. And then of course celebrate your progress along the way. It's important. When you put in the effort, you achieve certain things, celebrate it. Be happy. Go out
Mm-hmm.
for, a dinner or something. Go for a drive someplace. Catch a flight. Whatever it is. Of course, you wanna kind of, celebrate, according to the budget, right? You want to do that,
You
right?
can dance.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But it's good. It's good for the soul.
Yeah.
It's good for the soul. For you just feel like, hey, I made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, it just made, the other day I paid an important bill. I was so happy. I walked to the bank. I felt like I kind of owned the bank. I mean, I really had a wonderful time because I wasn't paid this big bill. It was a big deal for me. I felt good. Didn't have to go eat dinner, but I just felt good. The swagger, it was good. It felt good. So those are all part of the things that go in just to reinforce that you can do it, right? The
And,
other
and
thing,
and think of what does to
yeah,
your psyche,
yeah,
right?
your inner man
Your inner man. You just
or
feel
inner
like
woman.
I can do this, and then you're
Yes,
not so worried about somebody's success or progress,
yeah,
because you feel like
absolutely.
you're making progress in your own way
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So.
Again, folks, everybody has their own journey. Everybody runs their own race,
Mhm.
right? It's your race. It's your race. Celebrate your race, right?
Yeah.
The other thing also, you want to limit the time you spend on social media. Okay,
Mm.
social media is so it's pervasive, as Joan talked about earlier. We have it on our phones. It's everywhere, But reduce the time you spend on social media. All right, you may want to unfollow certain accounts that trigger certain things. To
Mhm.
trigger the fear of missing out, FOMO. You might
Mhm.
want to just trigger them. Okay, again, like I talked about earlier, remember that people choose to share what they want to share online. They usually present the highlight reels, right? The
Mm.
best of the best.
Mm.
They don't show us the bad sides. It's the best of the best to show us, right? So you just be mindful of that. For me, what I do is I have a specific amount of time that I spend on social media. Okay, I'm on social media every day, but I have a specific amount of time that I spend, and I have certain things that I do.
Mm.
And when I'm done, guess what? I leave. I just leave. Otherwise it takes over.
Yeah, and if I may add, it's not just social media, because there are so many other situations or circumstances where we can have that fear. It may be the company that you're keeping, so you want to
Yeah.
extract yourself from any environment, company, or situation that may trigger
Mm.
that fear of missing out. So think about it. Not just social media; it could be the friends you hang out with,
Yeah.
the thing. I'm not saying you should change your friends,
Yeah.
but just try to some time to assess what triggers that fear in you, and then try to excuse yourself from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. The other thing also you want to do is focus on your unique path.
Mm.
I think we've talked about it in so many different ways.
Mm.
Understand that success is not a one size fits all, right?
Mm.
Your path is unique. Your gifts are different from the next person. Your blessings are different from the next person, right?
Absolutely.
So celebrate that, realize that, recognize that. I think that's where when you sit down and do a personal inventory, it helps you because then you know what you want.
Mhm.
What does success look like for you? It's going to be different from the next person and from the next person, right? And then once you realize that, then you realize there's no reason to compare. There's no, I mean, there really isn't. And just well, again, you just take from it that if Mr. A can do it or Miss A can do it, so can you.
Yeah.
You may just need the guidance to make it happen, right? Everyone's success is influenced by different circumstances, different skills, and timing. Timing is an important one too, right? that we're often overlook. But everyone's situation is different. That's the big message there. So to compare ourselves to someone else doesn't really make sense because we don't know how the circumstances were. We don't know who helped them. We don't know what kind of guidance they got. Maybe they had coaching. You didn't have coaching,
Mm.
you know. So someone that could tell them the blind side, guide him on the blind spots. You didn't have it. So that definitely that limit. It'll be longer for you to get there if you don't have that guidance. I mean, look at these football players or basketball players. They all have coaches. What do the coaches do? They guide them. They guide
Yeah.
them, right? They help them do better. If you don't have a coach, well, you compete against somebody who has a coach.
Hmm.
Big difference there, right? So
Yeah.
just something to
If
consider.
I may just add, Paul, it's not just about comparing with others. Also, it could be yourself. Sometimes you
Mhm.
may be working on a project or you have a goal, and you feel like, if I don't add this facet of it, or if I don't get this program, or if I don't get this whatever
Degree.
degree or whatever it is, I will not be able to achieve that goal. So you're afraid. That's a fear
Mhm.
that you will not get to, your target. Okay.
Mhm.
But then when you really sit down, like Paul said, break down your goal, think about your strategies, have your game plan and work it. Okay. Then you will not, gravitate towards every shiny, bright object,
Yeah.
because if you don't know what you're, they say you don't know where you're going, you never get
And
there.
yeah, any road
you,
is
you
good
know
enough.
every road is good enough. So I just wanted to
Yeah,
add that.
good point. The other thing also, folks, you want to consider seriously is practice gratitude. Okay, I would say reflect every day, on what you're grateful for. Okay,
Mhm.
reflect on what you've achieved. All right, opportunities that you've had. You know, gratitude can help you shift your focus from what you don't have to
Mhm.
what you do have,
Yeah.
which is extremely important. I try to do that every morning. I sit down and do a list of 10 things I'm grateful for, and I thank Almighty God for that, for those things. All right. This energizes me, it lifts me up, it makes me happy, and I know that I'm making progress towards my goals. Okay, I'll do
Okay.
the same for you too. Okay, I'll do the same for you too. Um, Finally, I think the last point I'm going to mention is that you want to seek inspiration, not comparison. Okay, instead of comparing yourself to someone who has achieved rapid success, seek inspiration from their journey. Analyze their strategies, qualities the qualities that led to their success, and see how you can apply them to your own goals. Remember, what Mr. A has done, you can also do. What Miss A has done, you can also do. All right. I mean, if they've done it, you can do it. Again, this also may need you seeking out a mentor or a coach like we are, and then seeing someone that can then they can sit down and see how they can help you. Okay, because again, sometimes oftentimes it's hard. It takes someone from an outsider who has walked the walk to really see where you are and help guide you. All right. I hope these points have been helpful. Again, like Joe said, we've been through this too. Sometimes we'll go through it again, but we kind of
Mhm.
catch ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Because we know that fear of missing out does not serve us. It
Absolutely.
doesn't, for the most part, it doesn't serve us.
Yeah.
So we try to stay from that. Again, we all each of one of us is running their own race, so to speak. It's not a it's not a competition. Everyone
Mhm.
has their own gifts that they have to bring out, right? It's about figuring out what those gifts are for you and going after them so they can serve society, right? And
Yes.
make you happy and for what you do. I hope this was helpful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I may just touch a little bit on some of the things that you can do. I know some people are on social media 24/7, right? I mentioned earlier, try to get yourself out of that. Some people, before they go to bed, they have to check,
What's going on?
what's going on, who's posted something, and so forth. Instead of doing that, why don't you practice gratitude, like Paul said, right? Or you take some time to reflect on your goals before going to bed. You look at your vision board, you look at your goal card, you speak, into your goals, right? In the morning, sometimes first thing we gravitate to our phones, want to see what's going on and all of that. Instead of doing that, why don't you speak to your day?
Yeah.
Declare what you want to happen for you that day. Okay, declare that you only see success.
Absolutely.
Why don't you take some time to pray or to praise or to journal? Do something that will get your day started on the right path.
For quiet time.
Some quiet time, right? Just reflecting, because sometimes you may see something on social media and your entire day is skewed.
Absolutely.
Is skewed to what you just read or what you just saw. And now you're feeling that fear of missing out. And guess what? You're not able to follow your plans for the day. And it even aggravates the situation, right? So try to do that. Paul also talked about communication, okay? Yes, it could be with a coach, it could be a mentor, it could be a family member or a trusted friend that you can vent, just let them know what you're going through. Because, like I said, it results in some compulsive behavior.
Yep. Yes.
Before you know it, you've spent so much money, you've taken a trip that you didn't plan to take, you find yourself in an uncompromising situation because of that fear of missing out. So share, speak to someone, communicate. They may share some highlights in your own life that you may not even think they are valuable or they're important, and that will encourage you, that will inspire you, that will motivate you. Okay, so talk to someone, do what, excuse yourself or extract yourself or remove yourself from those situations that will promote FOMO, right? Maybe it's just looking online aimlessly and everything you see is 70% off, So we hope that what we've shared here will really help you. And Paul, do you want to just round up?
Yes, yes. Again, thank you, folks. We thank you, Alicia, for sending in your question. We hope it's been able to enlighten a lot of other few folks that have been watching us. It certainly helped us too. We
Yeah,
learn from this too, folks. We learn from this. It's a journey, as I say, right? But again, we thank you again for joining us today. We're on social media. Check us out on premierdestiny.com. If you have any questions you want us to help you with, reach out to us via email. What's support@premierdestiny.com, support@premierdestiny.com. And we thank you again for joining us today. Until next time, make it a fantastic day and make it an abundant day, right?
absolutely. So we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, like Paul said, keep sending in those questions, okay? Yours may be the one we answer next week.
Make it a
Take
great
care.
day, folks.
All
Bye bye for
right.
now.
Bye-bye.